I'm so excited to be here and show you a whole new way of working with ArcGIS. I'll be using the ArcGIS API for Python to perform spatial analysis, content management, and GIS administration using a simple, expressive language that every one of you, not just the developers, can understand and use. And while the Python API can be used wherever Python runs, it really shines in the Jupyter Notebook. The Jupyter Notebook is an open-source, browser-based application that lets you create and share these documents that can contain live code, visualizations, explanatory text, and now maps using ArcGIS. So let's see ArcGIS in a notebook. I can make notes, use that for my narrative, telling my story. I can type in Python code and math expressions, see the results interactively. I just brought in the ArcGIS API in this notebook. I can begin using it. And I've logged on to my GIS. Your GIS could be ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise. And in 3 lines of code, I've brought in a live map of San Diego. How cool is that? Let's bring in some content. I'm searching my ArcGIS online organization for content related to San Diego and displaying the results that I get back. Looking at the results, I see that the first layer it's a layer of places in San Diego. The second result is a layer of trolley stations. I'm creating a new map. I'm zooming in this time and adding the layers on that map. Now my map has layers. Thank you. I'd like to do an analysis. I want to go visit some of these places. And for that, I'm calling the Create Drive Time Areas tool with the travel mode of walking to identify places that are within 5 minutes of walking distance from those trolley stations. I'm then overlaying the layers of places to see in San Diego with those walkable areas. That gives me a short list of places that are within walking distance from the trolley stations. I could go take the trolley, see those places. I'll get back my results as a layer, and I want to be able to query them as a table and visualize them on a map. And one of the nice things we've done is that we've integrated this API with pandas. And for those of you who don't know, pandas is Python's library for data access. It's like bringing Excel in your notebook. I can also visualize the results, adding it to a map. So I scroll up to see. I didn't run that cell yet. Now I did. I scroll up to see, and I see my map has been updated with the results. That was a quick tour of getting started. You can do so much more. And these notebooks are great for sharing and collaborating with others, sharing your analysis with others. Let's take a look at a second notebook that has my analysis on finding the best places to go running in San Diego. In the mornings, I like to go out for a run, and for me, it's great if it's a place with low elevation, it's flat terrain, I can't run hills, and it's out in nature. That's the most important for me. Let's look at my Python code to solve this problem. Notice how my weighted overlay analysis is not complex code. It's a simple math expression that's about as easy to understand as my sketch above. This is map algebra for the web GIS. And now with distributed raster analysis, it's more powerful than ever. I can do interactive raster processing right within Jupyter Notebook, see the results inline in real time. I can add the results to a map. And this is using dynamic image processing. And if I want to, I can save the results out as a new imagery layer using image server. Next, let's look at a third notebook and a different kind of use. This is a notebook that helped me make my boss happy the other day. So he came in on a Friday evening and wanted me to configure a new ArcGIS Enterprise, customize its homepage to match that of my organization, add all the users from my division to the appropriate groups for collaboration, and also have the enterprise ready to go with content. This is what the workflow looks like. And if I were to do it manually, maybe I might have to stay back late on Friday and hopefully not come in on Saturday. But since it's a workflow that I may need to repeat often, I've already scripted it. And this is what it looks like. It's not too complex. And all I need to do is click Run All. And the notebook does everything for me. We've seen how we use these notebooks and the Python API to do some powerful analytics and GIS administration using a very simple expressive language. Next, let's see the amazing things that you can do by combining ArcGIS with the rich set of data science and machine learning libraries in Python. And for that, let me introduce you to my colleague, Mansoor Raad.
Thank you, Rohit. I want to share with you how we can enhance the experience of Jupyter Notebook by adding open Python components like an image library and invoking IBM Watson Deep Learning. Georgia Power perform inspections of their transmission lines from helicopters. And they look for things like insulators that are broken or contaminated or flashed. Now, an inspection flight generates thousands of geotagged images. This is just a small sample here. But when I get the data set like that, the first thing I want to do is I want to draw it on the map. Here, I'm using an image library to extract the spatial location of an image. And using the API, I can now turn it into a feature on a layer, on a map, using the ArcGIS API for Python. I love how easily I can integrate all that in the Jupyter Notebook and how the experience is so easy. But what I'm more excited about is the following. What you're seeing here is just 1 mile out of one flight. And in that 1 mile, there's 400 images. Now, Georgia Power has over 17,000 miles of transmission lines. That means today, they are manually classifying over 100,000 of images. This is a daunting task. There has to be a better way to do this. And that easy way is using deep learning. We've trained IBM Watson to recognize broken insulators in images in such that now, using the Watson API, we can pass pixels of a brand new image, of a geotagged image, to the deep learning visual recognition system. And it will come back with a classification of damaged or not. We can take that information now and turn it into a feature layer. But what's exciting here is we're going to see it all in action. And what we're going to be doing here is dynamically invoking the API. And as Watson recognizes broken insulators, we're going to highlight them in red in here. So let's see the image. Awesome. Great job in here. And if we look at it here again, even in blurred images, which is really very cool. So what we've done here, we've used a combination of Python modules, like the image library, to extract spatial coordinate from images. We automated the feature identification using Watson Deep Learning, and we combine all that with the ArcGIS API to gain us deeper understanding and to enable us to do further analysis, like emerging hotspots or create repair workflow in Maximo. Rohit and I are super excited to share this ArcGIS API Python with you because we cannot wait to see what kind of magic you're going to be doing in your Jupyter notebooks. Thank you.